Brought to you by Sayge Media.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
We've got a great show lined up for you.
Tequila's a whole different kind of drunk.
That's a dumb stripper.
They're always stupid.
Good point.
Who are those guys?
And you just reach your arm in there and give it a couple of tugs. And
How do you give someone an IOU for a shit in the mouth?
They just keep telling the story.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
boop bop, diddly bop, pop, pop, boom.
How'd all you people get in my house?
It's half Jaeger and it's half rhinoceros piss after he's ate asparagus.
Who's in here eating chips, taking a shit?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Is that my cue?
That's
Are
your
we
cue.
on?
That's your cue.
All right, here we go. We are here live in our studios recording together once again. Another exciting episode of the I almost called it the regular guys. I was listening to some of that a couple of times this week. For those of you who don't know, Larry Wax would you say he was like the main guy on that show?
Yeah, he was the brains of the show.
He was the brains of the show, at least the heart and soul of it. He's been putting out a podcast lately that was like a regular guys review, which I highly recommend both of you two listening at some point. But anyway, so I've listened to it a lot lately, and it's stuck in my head. I recently started ADHD meds, and so I'm glad to see that those are working very well. Before we get started,
I was going to say, how long does it take for those to start taking effect?
Apparently 6 months or so.
Yeah.
Like when I got the the CPAP machine, that thing was like, is he cueing something or chasing a bug?
There was
Does this move on? Okay, sorry.
There was a fly. There was a fly. I was trying to catch it, like Mr. Miyagi.
We can't mention their show.
Speaking of ADHD, you were speaking, and I was trying to catch a fly with my bare hands.
Yeah. And see, that's just true that the meds have not kicked in yet, too, because it was like you were jingling car keys in front of me. Ooh, something else is going on over here.
That's fine. My ADHD is so bad, I'm starting 3 companies at one time. Nice.
Well, you'll have some time for each one, right?
Yeah.
What else are you doing?
I shouldn't have said 3. I can't talk about one of them quite yet. One I could talk about in detail.
Riveting radio.
Yeah. I'll talk about Stage Dive at the end of this. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, that has started, correct?
Yeah.
Because you've been talking about that for a good while.
Yeah. I got a good update on it, actually. I'll talk about it at the end of this episode.
Okay. And then what? Sayge Media is the other?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
And then you got what they call in a wrestling business, you got your shoot job, which is like your real job, right?
Yes.
You still have your real job that you do.
Yeah. I'm going to be transitioning that into a different real job.
Raising that kid.
Yep.
That's another job, right?
Yeah, there's that.
All right. Are you doing good at any of them?
No.
I only experienced that. I only know about the podcast.
Not a one.
I only see the results of that.
It's on par.
All right. So, with us as always is my lifetime hetero sex mate there.
No homo.
No homo, my buddy Nick. How are you doing this week?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Yep.
Awfully quiet there.
I'm just watching the show Crash and Burn. That's
I got you.
From the side. I've got my popcorn here.
When I talked to you earlier, you're like, let me get off the phone so I can finish the show. Apparently you clearly didn't do that. Or you started a new episode.
No.
Okay, still the same one?
No, I'm not watching. Well, there's a football game on in the background, but
I got you.
I'm not watching any show or anything like that.
Well, normally we don't record on a Sunday. Are we allowed to say we're recording on a Sunday night?
Yeah, this is coming out this
week. That matter?
So.
Okay. All right. And then hang on one second. We'll give everybody the official countdown here.
For when we come up.
App. What's that?
For when we come up there?
Yeah. Let's see.
About a month.
I have it on this thing. We have 31 days. 31 days.
Nope. About a month.
Yeah. Let's do it, right? It's getting there. I think we had when we started talking about this, it was like 10 weeks, and now there's like 4. It fucking flies by.
Yeah.
It's insane how quickly the tail end of the summer is gone. I don't know if it's been the same for you guys, but holy shit. Like it seemed like August lasted a while and then September went by like so quickly. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was kind of that way for me as well.
I don't know. I mean, I know it's missing one day, only 30 days, but still.
The difference was palpable.
Apparently. It's crazy.
Ryan,
Yes.
I got a brisket. I forgot to tell you, I got a brisket here, so I'm gonna play around with that thing, and then when we come up there, we can try to make a brisket up at your place.
You're going to bring it with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the freezer and wait. No, I'll have to get that to TSA. I'm gonna have a bag with podcast equipment and brisket.
Yeah. Do you need me to kind of Google where you can find some dry ice?
Yeah, that won't look like a bomb. Dry ice, a brisket,
Yeah.
and podcast equipment.
Yeah. Because you spill drinks on everything, so you'll spill a little bit on that dry ice, and that smoke will start coming out like they make the witches props with at Halloween. Huh? How about that already suspicious looking guy anyway with the smoking bag walking past?
Yeah, who's now smoking on an airplane?
Yeah. No,
Sure.
no, his bag is smoking. Check his shoes. Check his shoes.
I'm throwing that bag under the first brown person I see.
Well,
that is not mine.
You do have a nickname at the airport, don't you? Random bag check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random security search.
Random.
Yeah.
My ass.
Are you
Every time we go to the airport, he gets the random pat down.
It's because he could hide so much shit up in that fucking hair of his. Oh, are we been on long enough for you two? I said fuck.
I think we ruined that right away. It doesn't help that I kind of dress like this when I'm going to the airport too.
You wear tank tops like you're going to the gym or something?
Kind of, yeah.
All right.
Actually, no, normally not a tank top. Normally a shirt that I've ripped the sleeves off of.
Okay.
He's what's
Like a
called
metal shirt.
He's what's called a walking probable cause.
Yeah. This guy's trouble.
Yep.
See, the thing is you look enough like trouble that they become suspicious of you, but you don't look like tough enough to where they're like, oh, fuck it, I'm not gonna mess with them though.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like you're
bag.
just
Why
you're
me?
just pussy enough to like they feel comfortable searching you, but you do look like enough trouble.
Yeah. Why are you guys always searching me? Well, for one, you're wearing sunglasses inside, so that seems like a good reason.
You do wear those
out
aviators a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Start spouting out all the I'm a sovereign citizen routine.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
I'm traveling.
How come I love going on those rabbit holes too, but how come no cop has ever just said you're using state funded roads?
They do.
Like
They
you
do.
have
They
to
just-
you have to have a license to use
My
them.
favorite thing is where they say that I'm not bound by the laws of this land, and that that's not me. That's a piece of plastic, and that's mine. And they go through all that, and then they start spouting out the protection they have under the Constitution. It's like, wait a minute, either you're either under the Constitution or you're not.
Right.
So which is it?
Is everything working for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is going on with you? Why are you so
I
paranoid?
don't know what's going on with this thing, man.
Before
Keep
the
acting
episode,
like somebody's like messing with your computer or something.
Before the episode, you were like, "You guys are fucking with me."
Fuck you talking about? Stop! You're messing with my screen.
Stop doing it again.
I
From
wouldn't
here.
even know how to go about doing that.
Right.
Yeah, it does seem a little smart for you. It's still doing it. It's just scrolling like crazy.
Well,
might want to edit this out.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of this segment.
Awful lot of editing on this one so far.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Well, that was the first 11 seconds of this episode.
Since we are recording on a Sunday, did you guys actually watch the game today?
Unfortunately, yes.
Ryan, did you? I don't want to ruin it if you didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it. I know you can talk about it all you want. I didn't.
So
I didn't have a chance to watch it.
Well, I was asking also because I was going to ask if you guys had any takeaways from the game because I have a couple.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah. We
All right.
can't.
Well, let's hear 'em.
Ritter is terrible.
Yeah. Is that?
Well,
Anything else?
Yeah, well, I know Ryan was the most skeptical on Ritter going into the season, I think, of the three of us. I saw flat. That's the thing. Every once in a while, I'll see flashes where it's like, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
every once in a while it was like, oh, that was a pretty damn good throw. But most of them are like, oh my god, don't throw that. Oh my god, it was almost intercepted.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's
Or
going on.
it was intercepted.
I don't understand how he went. I mean, 2 in a row interception, but I don't understand how he went from. He literally same thing like Dak Prescott, actually, who has the record, went from almost breaking Dak Prescott's record, who broke Tom Brady's record of most passing attempts without an interception, like just ever.
Ritter, you want to know why? Because our passing game, we don't throw the ball more than 2 yards downfield.
No, but
everything's like the Georgia Bulldogs, like the passing game is where like they just throw it to the side of the field.
Sure, but still a certain amount of passes have to be thrown and like and all that for him to get to that. That was kind of the main thing with him. Is it's like, unlike Mariota, at least he doesn't make bad decisions. That was kind of the thing with him for up until that fucking Green Bay game. Is like, he makes good decisions. At the very least, he's not fucking up. And then it's like, as soon as he did it one time, now it's nothing but bad decisions. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's like as soon as he flipped that switch, now it's just nonstop throwing to the wrong fucking team.
What do you think it got in his head?
I think
like
it might have.
Once you do it, oh shit, and you start getting panicky and gets away from you. But like this is the second game in a row now that it's
third game.
Or third game?
Well, last week the whole team looked atrocious against Detroit, but if you saw Green Bay looked atrocious against Detroit more than we did somehow. And then, but against Green Bay, I mean, we came back and won the game, and he looked good at the end of the game, leading the comeback drive. But I mean, he threw the one interception. It was like, fuck, that sucks. That was like the one really bad decision he's made. And then he almost threw another 3 in that game. Yeah. And we just got lucky the guys dropped it. And then after that, every game is just right to the wrong fucking guy.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like as soon as he threw the first one, now it's just nonstop fucking interceptions. He's
if it wasn't for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algiers, we'd just look absolutely inept on offense.
Yeah.
Well, and Pitts and London they should be, along with Bijan, the cornerstone of our offense. And
they just can't seem to throw the ball downfield to get it to them.
Well, and in fairness, don't get me wrong, so far Ritter sucks this season. But aside from that, our offensive line is fucking atrocious. And I would like to go on record again that I did call it. Last season, everyone was like, oh, McGarry's looking a lot better. No, he isn't. He fucking sucks, and he should be off the team.
Who?
Caleb McGarry. I told you he's fucking trash. And last season, everyone was like, no, he got better. No, he fucking hasn't. It's just we didn't trust Mariota, so they ran the ball like 130 times a fucking game. But as soon as McGarry has to actually block somebody, that dude, he's fucking garbage. I hate that guy.
He's good at running them over in a running game, but passing,
he's absolute garbage.
As good as he is in the run game, he is that bad in the pass game.
Yeah, and he fooled everybody into a fucking contract because we just ran it literally like 14 times in a row last season. So we didn't see how terrible he was. I still knew how bad he was.
It's like a human turnstile.
It's terrible. I hate that guy.
So how do you really feel about him?
I fucking hate that guy. I wish he was off the team. I was furious when we re-signed him. I knew this was coming.
Well,
yeah.
We're 2-2, and the season doesn't look like it's going to go very far. Not with the way he's throwing it.
Well, either that or they might put Heineke in.
Yeah, but you know how football coaches are. They're going to wait till we're completely out of it before they give somebody a shot. Just like they waited till we were completely out of it before they gave Ritter a shot.
Yeah, they waited too long because we could have known last season if Ritter looked like this or not. Honestly,
right. We should have gave him a chance earlier in the season last year. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the play calling, it's the execution on passing plays.
Some of the play calling too,
there's no timing.
Some of the play calling I don't love. I think Arthur Smith's a great coach, but Pitt should be the Travis Kelce of our team. We should be using him like that. He has the talent to do it, and we're just not fucking doing it.
Well, that's the other thing that kind of sucks too, is some of these guys are going to want to start going elsewhere too.
Oh yeah,
you know.
I mean, if you were Kyle Pitts, would you want to stay?
I mean, he's a generational.
Thrown
player.
The ball twice today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Grant, I know Atlanta said they're not going to trade him, but I mean,
No, but eventually, like when his contract's up, he's not going to want to re-sign with Atlanta.
No,
and then we won't get anything for him either.
Right, not unless you can get a quarterback to throw to him. I mean, if you get a fucking ridiculous quarterback to get him the ball, then sure. But as the way things look for the last 2 seasons, or this season and last season, no. I mean, why would he want to stay? London too, for that matter.
Yeah.
So to pivot a little bit on quarterbacks, actually, I paid a little bit of attention to this, but have you guys noticed the weird controversy with former Bulldogs quarterback Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
And his goings-ons with the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Like
he's basically he's not playing, right? I mean, he's
right.
Well, he's got a issue that's bigger than football, but if you look at a lot of well,
they've said it's alcohol.
Right.
Yeah,
that's his issue. But nobody has come out and said that.
No, they have.
Like,
yes.
Have they?
Not from the Rams.
I saw that they said that he had an alcohol problem and that he needed to get that under control.
Oh, I didn't see anything officially from the Rams that said that. I saw everybody that knew him from the Bulldog days being like, yeah, he's a drunk. We knew this was going to happen.
That's crazy. Like, I didn't know anything about his drinking until that time he got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point, it was kind of like, well, I mean, he deserves to go ahead and tie one on
right,
he could be the SEC championship game. And yeah. I didn't realize that was like just every it was like a Tuesday for him.
Yeah,
right.
Supposedly that was.
I didn't either, but it's kind of sad to hear, I guess, because I thought possibly like he could like continue the same story, being a walk-on at Georgia and nobody giving him respect, all that stuff, and now he has a chance to be at the Rams where Stafford is on the tail end of his career. So you're now going to be nurtured by a former Bulldog, all that kind of stuff. And you have a legit chance to at least start for an NFL team the same way you had a chance to start at Georgia, and to fucking piss it away off of drinking and stuff.
I have to think that a lot of teams knew about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this last year. Like, well, why isn't he ranked higher? And this, and there were reasons why. But I guarantee you that, things that were, said behind closed doors, but not, out in the open was that, hey, he might have a bit of a drinking problem.
Well, especially
because we had an argument we had an argument for everything else. People are like, well, what about his size? And they're like, well, he's slightly bigger than
Bryce Young.
than Young was from, Alabama. Yeah. Like he was like a half inch taller and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
it's like
you got to
think size. And what about talent then? Well, he won 2 national titles and was a Heisman finalist. So I'm guessing his talent's pretty good, and it wasn't just defense that won those. As a matter of fact, last year, the offense looked just as good as the defense. Like it looked more of a balanced team last year.
Yeah,
under him.
You got to think.
And we can talk about this year's team if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Well, part of it's it was his age. And like he was already 42 years old coming out of college.
Well, but
that was the biggest issue in my opinion.
But he's still younger than Bo Nix, though.
Yeah,
I think Bo Nix has been playing college since. Remember when we watched that 05 Auburn game?
Yeah,
him against Georgia at your place. That was pretty.
How is it possible that he's that? Did you guys see that picture where there's the picture of him shaking hands with Josh Allen after a game? It's like, how is that possible that Josh Allen's been in the league this long and they played each other?
One's been in the league for 3 years.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
He's been in college for
the other
6
one. They were
fucking
doing
years.
Were they doing like Herbert from the Chargers?
Yeah.
Like they were doing like him and Bo Nix, and they were saying like they started college at the same time. One's been in the NFL for 3 years. The other one's still playing football in college. Yeah. He's still playing. Hey, he's playing at a high level at Oregon, though. They're doing pretty good.
You'd hope so. He's had fucking 7 years of training there.
I know. No. His first 5 were at Auburn.
That's true.
They weren't all at Oregon.
Well,
I guess you just start. I don't know if when he transferred, he just started over. And he went from senior to like freshman again.
Look, he's going for his doctorate.
I was going to say he'll have a
doctorate. Yeah. What was that?
Dr. Football.
Yeah. Wasn't that a David Spade line?
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. Yeah.
lot of people go to school for 8 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Shut up, Richard.
Yeah, remember that's the he says that right before the trash bag comes out. Oh, this has to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shut up,
With duct
Richard.
paper. That one day will be a segment in the future where we do the movie quote countdown. Tommy Boy will be on that list, and you might want to dedicate an entire episode.
Oh, for sure.
To that thing.
You know, but it makes me wonder if the reason the Rams went and got him, because they got him as a late round pick. Makes me wonder if they picked him up because Stafford was there, and they thought, well, him and Stafford already have a good relationship.
Yeah.
And Stafford,
well, I guess.
Stafford would.
I don't know how well they knew each other.
They knew each other pretty well because Stafford would go back to the Georgia games, and they would. It seemed like they already had a built-in relationship. Makes you wonder if they were like, maybe Stafford could kind of keep him on the straight and narrow, while he kind of trains him up, and apparently he cannot.
Maybe they were like, you know what? This is LA. There's a lot of rehab places around here that we can
That's kind of what I was just thinking too. It's like, it's kind of like Brett Favre. I mean, he would never have been the Brett Favre that we know if he had stayed here in Atlanta, and so he went to Green Bay. There's nothing else to do there.
Yeah.
So you give a guy like Stetson Bennett, give him a bunch of money, and turn him loose in LA.
Yeah.
Well, he might fall off the wagon.
Might backfire.
I don't want to say you were asking for it, but kind of asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, he did pick at one point it was voted the number one party school in the country, UGA. Mm-hmm. There's a chance that might have influenced his decision going to college. I'm not saying it was the deciding factor, but I'm sure it was, under that pros and cons list. I think that went into the check the pros.
I'll be honest, you think about everyone was like, man, this is the highlight of Bennett's career. He's going to be selling insurance one day, but man, he won a national championship. I almost wonder if Bennett thought that about himself.
I don't know.
Everyone was saying that about him. I almost wonder if he was kind of like, I'm not going to.
But he never had that attitude up until that point. They were like, oh, he'd never started a major college. He always seemed to know better than other people. I thought he could. That's what I'm saying. I thought he could continue that same attitude. Every time you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go and do it.
Yeah.
Why would he all of a sudden start? He got drafted. So why would he all of a sudden start believing, I'll never be an NFL quarterback. I'll be selling insurance in a couple of years. By the way, there's a funny segment where somebody was like, why the fuck do they always use selling insurance as the shit job that you would fall to? There's this insurance salesman guy that was talking about that one time. He's like, you realize they always use that.
It's not that it's a bad job. It's just considered like a boring job, not as glamorous as, NFL quarterback.
Right. Well, and
not everybody can be a car wash manager.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
not that he thought that after he got drafted. I almost wonder if he thought no one's going to draft me because of what they're saying.
Yeah.
And maybe he thought fuck it. I was on the top of the mountain. I almost wonder if he was partying
I don't see him giving up until after the draft. I can see him go, well, fuck, I didn't get drafted. I doubt anybody's going to pick me up after the fact. I'm going to start doing this.
I'll give you undrafted or something.
It just doesn't seem like he would have done that.
Yeah.
He'd proven too many people wrong for too long up until that point. The draft hadn't happened yet. I just don't understand. I mean, like you said, if somebody has a drinking problem, they have a drinking problem.
Well,
if you fill their pocket full of money,
right,
and ego,
yeah.
I was gonna say there's the other side of it too. That
the women out
with
there,
a drinking problem. I mean, he did win all that with a drinking problem, so he might have also just been like, I'm fucking fine. I can keep doing this. I've done it. I've done it 2 years in a row. Won a national championship.
You're not going to stop me. Functioning alcoholic.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe his ego was actually exactly
my mom was friends with one of those. It was so bizarre. Nick's actually been over to her house before. We used to laugh about it. She had a recycling bin that would just be full of wine jugs. She would need 2 of those things, put them on the street. But she had a job in banking, and she was up every morning. Yep. Went to her job, did her thing, came back home, boom, just started pouring that. It's the first time I ever learned that term, functioning alcoholic.
I know a couple of them. I work with a couple of them.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I've employed a few.
Yeah, you think? You employed a couple of functioning meth heads.
I was going to say functioning meth heads, functioning coke heads.
Work with some of them too.
Yeah. Definitely some dopers. And we use the word functioning loosely with some of them. I'll say that.
Well, no, I tell you what, some of my best employees were meth heads, quite honestly.
Yeah, well, they work really quick.
That's because they were focused and
Yeah.
you know, they really were. But then when the crash came, you
Yeah.
know, when they just basically, you know, when they ran out of meth and ran out of the ability to keep their eyes open, then it was just like they'd crash and then they'd be fucking non-existent for about 4 days, and then, you know, start all over again.
Man, we had a dude at the shop we called Tweak, and he was. Here's the thing: he's the guy that cut all the material for us. So we had all kind of fucked up shit coming to us on these carts. Like when we would get stuff to cut, it was like everything was wrong, and it's like, ah, fuck. Of course, it's this guy. But it's because it's like he'd wake up in the morning and do a shit ton of meth. And so he'd get there all amped up, but then he did too much and needed to come down. So then he was taking a bunch of downers and then would be like passing out at the saw while it was running, and then would disappear to the bathroom and then come back all amped up again. It was just up, down, up, down, up, down all fucking day. It was like, and it was always
like
way
Popeye
too much of
eating
everything.
spinach.
Yeah, it was
Probably had a Cliff
fucking
Bar in
crazy.
his pocket.
I mean,
Yeah.
he literally would, like just fucking bloodshot giant eyes, like running around, fucking pitching you crazy ideas, and then you'd see him again, and he's literally, he looked like a question mark. He was standing up, but his body was leaned all the way over because it couldn't functionally stand up anymore.
Oh my god!
And then he would just sweating like crazy, and then he'd leave and come back, and he was like, yeah. So did I tell you about this?
I remember how fucked up that shit could be. Like when I worked at the door and window shop right after graduation, there was this guy was cutting the I don't remember the terms anymore, but you know the metal parts of the door frame, like you step on and all that kind of stuff. That piece of metal
threshold.
that gets it.
Yeah.
The threshold. So this guy, there's an order getting ready to go out, and there's a guy in charge of cutting the thresholds to whatever length. It had to be like 3 feet or something like that. So you have this giant table saw, and you go and you put a stopper at one end. You measure it out. You install this stopper on it in. That way you can just put the threshold right up to that, pull the saw, cut it, and you're done. Take the next one, throw it up against that stopper, cut the next one. This guy cut a pallet full of them, right? And we had this old dude, this cranky old guy that was quality control. And he's comes out, he carries around his measuring tape everywhere. He'll just come out and check things constantly. And he comes up to the pallet full of these things. He's like, looking at it, he goes, I don't think these are right. And everybody's like, oh shit. Like this is a pretty big project and stuff, right?
Yeah, because that means they're all wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what
That's
they realized was happening is he was tweaked out and everything, and he was trying to go so fast that every time he threw one on there, he was knocking that stopper a little bit and it was throwing it off. So it was sliding just a bit, and he just I'm up against it. And
so he didn't tighten it down enough.
Right? Yeah.
Oh.
He did, it must not have been quite tight enough, but it was. I remember to this day. I remember the shitstorm from that.
If I will say though, there's
one
been a
thing
couple
that's
job
good is
sites.
he was pushing the stopper out, so it did make them slightly long.
Yeah, you can
So
adjust.
That way you can shorten them. Yeah,
eventually you did get to go back and recut them, but
as long as he didn't cut them
shit,
short.
Yeah.
I will say there's been a couple times on a job site though where like it is funny if there's a dude that you don't like and he's that fuck up when he inevitably does fuck up and someone spazzes out on him, it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Oh, they went off on that guy too.
Yeah.
They went off on him because they told him you need to be checking like every fifth one of these. Make sure you're still good, and he wasn't checking shit. And there was, I don't know, 100 in this stack or whatever. They had to be redone, which meant everything else had
to be fair, the damn thing should have been either he didn't tighten it enough, or there was a problem with the whatever makes it tight there. Because you would think once you set it once, it should be there.
It should be.
It should be the right size, you know.
Yeah, I guess so. But they, like I said, they were telling you had to check your work too, though. Like check every fifth one, make sure everything's, I don't know. I mean, the stopper should have worked. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
While we're kind of
Coach?
doing this. Yeah. Is my mic fucking up or is it normal?
A little bit. It cuts out a little bit.
Is it cutting out a little bit? I'm trying to see which setting this thing's supposed to be on. Hold on.
That's why I asked you what that player was you were talking about when you were talking about the Falcons that we gave this contract to, the one you said you hated.
Oh, Caleb McGarry. Hold on.
When you
this
said
better?
his name, it cut out there. That's why I didn't know who you talked about.
Is this better or is this worse?
I like that better.
It's better?
It's
not cutting out. Is it cutting out?
Well, you're not talking, so I can't tell. You said now and then.
Well, no, I was talking.
Are we cutting all this out too?
Yeah, I'll cut this
out. It's
out.
going to be a short-ass episode.
I'll cut this out. Is this cutting out or is it normal?
No, it sounds fine.
Okay. There's two fucking settings that are called the exact same thing on my program, so I don't know which one is right until we test it.
It just cut out again though for a second.
God damn it!
It's like just these little hiccups.
Hold on, son of a bitch.
I used to use them to my advantage. Sometimes when you would talk a whole lot, when it would cut out a lot, I'd use that to cut in.
All right, how about that? Is that working?
You were mad about that one episode.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, because the one episode it just kept fucking cutting out. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, it was great. I just didn't want there to be any dead air. Are you familiar with dead air? That's an industry term.
Yeah, there's about 90% of this episode.
Yeah, I think everybody's thrown off by it being a fucking Sunday. We don't record on Sundays.
Yeah, no, there is
weird.
something.
Usually,
something not clicking.
Well, I did it. I did all my crack on what was it Friday that we were going to record. And now I'm having that. You remember Nick just now talking about that come down thing? Like I'm on the decline now.
Haven't been to sleep.
I was that employee
Thursday.
he was referring to.
Yeah,
He hadn't been to bed since last Thursday.
What?
This
It goes great with that ADHD med.
It might be a Sunday thing because this happened with our stage time meeting today too. He'd be like, "All right, let's take a vote on this," and then it was like, "Okay, does anyone have anything to say?" And then it was just silent. Like everyone thought somebody else was going to answer, until eventually someone would be like, "Yeah, it's fine." Yeah, it's fine. Like, okay, what the fuck, guys?
Let's go with that. It's fine with me.
This show is 99.5% fly by the seat of our pants, right? There's very minimal planning into this. Like we have a segment, we have something that we're going to kick off here in a few minutes, actually. But like for the most part, it's spur of the moment stuff. It's not terrible. I don't think it's terrible.
No, it's good.
It's terrible. 3.5 years and I still don't know how to fucking kick the show off at all with any sort of consistency. It's pretty good.
When you're broadcasting in front of all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all make me nervous.
all these guys from Nairobi who are big fans of our show.
Look, when the bright lights are on you, it's hard not to panic.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get into one of our segments, whether it's this episode or next episode, or I don't even want to get into the other part of that. But when we on the next episode, when we cover our cover songs, when we go over our cover songs, I think we're gonna get a lot of hate mail on mine. Actually,
oh really?
There's gonna. I think it's a hot take.
Okay,
we can do that this episode.
You guys want to do it this one, and then we'll do Forgotten
Film next episode. Fuck it, we'll do it this episode.
Do it. We can do it right now.
Fresh on our brains. Let's do it right now. That's a pretty good segue right there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna leave a lot of this in. So.
Yeah.
Okay. On the next episode, though, you want to tell us about your adventures, since you didn't when I asked what's been going on with everybody. Apparently, it wasn't that memorable.
Yeah. Well,
so what's everybody been up to?
Hold on.
I just took a shit. I almost didn't make it.
Well, hold on. It won't take that long. Do you want me to do it now? Because it is us at a music festival, so it'll tie into the music stuff.
All right.
Do you think?
Or do you want me to go after?
Hold on. Is this a good part of the show for you to check out there, Nick?
Listen.
Is this good? Are you on a commercial break or anything?
Well, I'm good.
Either that or I can do it after the segment if you want to go ahead and do the segment.
No, I don't care.
Okay, all right. So we went to Louder Than Life last weekend. So that's why actually our drop date was a little bit off, because we would have recorded last weekend, but I was out of town again, spending all your money. So yeah. So we went to Louder Than Life, which was
haven't
fucking
seen a dime in 3.5 years.
Which was fucking awesome, by the way. And so aside from the fact that Louder Than Life was awesome, really the main thing that made me excited to bring it to the show, because it was a festival, it was a concert, we had a great fucking time. Great. Yeah. Jacob had the time of his fucking life in a way that made me laugh so hard. So
that's good.
Yeah. So Jacob, guitar player in my band. We've talked about him on the show
Mhm.
before. He's been on Rant the Raven, so he's a friend of the show. For any, some context for anybody that joining doesn't know who that is.
Mhm.
So it was me, Tina, Lindsay, Taylor, and Jacob went to Louder Than Life.
He was one of my favorite people to talk to at
Oh, he's great, man.
Nick's
Yeah.
birthday
Yeah.
out there at
He's awesome.
Taco Mac.
He's
So-
a good dude.
So we
For
get
COVID
there.
birthday.
We get there, and so we've also talked about Jacob is he's awake all night, and this festival opens up at 11:30. Doors open, which is incredibly early in the morning for him. 11:30. We are lucky if he's awake. Also, he's not staying in the Airbnb that we're in. Like, we didn't all stay together, so Jacob's just on his own.
Where is he staying?
He was staying in an Airbnb, but he got his ticket at a different time than us. So
Okay.
he already had his Airbnb, so he wasn't staying with us. We were just going to meet up with him there. And so the
Okay.
first day, we didn't see him for half the fucking day. Like, he just showed up at some point and was wandering around being Jacob. And he sunburns unbelievably fast and aggressively. So not only was it out, it was hot as shit. I mean, and there wasn't really shade there, and it was and I will say they did a good job of trying to provide that stuff, but there was 181,000 tickets sold for this thing over the course of 4 days. So it was unbelievably packed. So there's only so much you can put people in tents and everything like that, And but it's incredibly hot. But Jacob refused to sunburn, so he had a denim jacket on over his shirt. So
He's pasty white though.
yeah, I know. Well, that was the thing is when we went to the last festival, we were like, dude, what are you doing? Because he had the same type of thing on, and we were waiting in line, and he goes, this is why. And he showed me he had his hand in his pocket, and he had like a jacket on, and it had moved up his sleeve a little bit, and there was just one tiny little strip of his hand that was available between his pocket and his sleeve. And before we got in the doors, it was bright like Coke can red. And he was like, "This will be my entire body." It was like 10, it was like 11:30, and that he was already burned that bad, so he can't. So we get in, we group up with him at some point. He's running all over the fucking festival. He's bopping around between different groups and shit. So first day we had fun and everything, and also we're taking some edibles. So certain bands are way more suited to that than others. We saw 311. I was in the fucking clouds when 311 came on, which was awesome. So Jacob disappears. Second day, he misses almost the whole day up until the headliners. He doesn't wake up in time. He wakes up at like fucking 1:00. And then here's the thing: the wristbands for this was the ticket, right? We had these wristbands to get in. So when you put the wristband on, you tighten it down, it does not loosen. So once you tighten it down, it's on your wrist and it doesn't come off till you leave the festival. Jacob,
You have one for every day?
no, you have one. You wore all 4 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So once
That
it's
doesn't
tightened,
get itchy.
yeah. So
No.
once it's tightened, it's fucking on there. Jacob
Yeah.
refused to tighten his all the way down because he was like, "I'm gonna take the fucking thing off. I refuse to abide by your rules. I'm gonna slide this thing off my wrist." So he didn't tighten it all the way down. So he wakes up the second day, middle of the day. I was like, "Fuck, I gotta go. I've already missed bands that I wanted to see." We're staying in it was in Louisville. It was in Kentucky. We were staying in Indianapolis, like 15, 20 minutes away, and driving in, and Jacob's out that way. So by then other people are coming in. So now it's taking him like 35-ish minutes to get to the show. So he drives all the way there and realizes he left his fucking wristband back at the house. So, but he bought parking for 1.5 miles from the festival.
Oh, Jesus
So
Christ.
he parks and runs 1.5 miles to the festival, and then gets up there and goes, "Motherfucker, I forgot my ticket." Runs 1.5 miles back to his car, gets back in his car, drives back home, gets his ticket, drives back to the festival, runs 1.5 miles back, and then gets inside. And we meet up with him, and we're like, "We're going to see this band." And he's like, "I'm going to eat. It's 5:00, and I'm just now getting inside, and I've eaten nothing." So he
Oh
goes
my God.
and gets food. We meet up with him at some point. And then there was this root beer stand, the Parlor root beer. And I love root beer. So I was like, I really want one of these fucking things, but it's $9 for a root beer. Like, I
was about to say.
don't want it that bad. Jacob's like, I'm gonna try the Flight, because they had different flavors of root beer. They had like butter pecan root beer and like something. They were all good, but like they had like different flavors. And he's like, I'm gonna try the Flight.
Pumpkin spice?
No, but thinking it was gonna be like like when you go somewhere and get like a Flight of something, they give you almost like shot glasses of it.
Right.
He thought it was gonna be that. So he goes and buys it. It's a festival, so they can't give you sealed stuff because they're worried that you'll throw it at the artists or other
Right.
people. So they give him 4 large cups, like at a fast food restaurant, full of root beer and a drink carrier. And he's like, what the fuck am I going to do with this? I'm now just carrying around a drink carrier full of like large Wendy's cups, basically, of fucking root beer.
2 gallons of root beer.
And he comes out and he sets it down. He's like, fucking anyone that wants to try it, go ahead. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. And so he has this. And then now there's a band coming on we want to see. And he's like, I'm not throwing this away. I just spent like $45 on root beer. I refuse to pour this out. So we're trying to maneuver through this crowd, and there's like mosh pits and crowd surfers and stuff. We look over, and Jacob's holding a fucking, he's holding a drink carrier full of fucking root beer, making his way through the crowd. And he's like, I'm not pouring it out. Half the fucking day, every band we go to, he's got a drink carrier full of fucking root beer. He's pushing through there, he's spilling it on people and dropping
By
it.
now it's
I was about to
hot.
say, how long did it last, really?
Well, the ice melted, so it's watered down. It's hot as shit. And he's like, I'm not
right.
pouring it out.
Right.
He's spilling it on people. And he's like on the edge of the mosh pit with a fucking drink carrier with 4 cups, spilling all over the place.
But not giving up, right?
Refuses
Never
to give up.
never said just fuck it and threw a bunch of root beer up in the air.
No, absolutely not. I think either he or someone else.
Did he drink
finished them.
any of it?
Oh, yeah, no, he drank a lot of it. He was trying to power
okay.
it through, but he's like, it's hot as shit.
Yeah.
I haven't had water, but I
Yeah.
have to drink all this root beer, so I'm dehydrated.
Yeah, I was
now
about to
also.
say that's real good.
And he's in a jean jacket, dehydrated,
That's right.
trying to power through to drink 4 fucking gallons of root beer.
And then you have to spend the next 2 hours in the toilet trying to piss.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
was only porta potties. They didn't have a normal bathroom, so it was only porta potties there. And festival porta potties. So he's got that shit going on, right? So the last day of the festival, we didn't see him at all. So we didn't get a recap until the next day. So they're having a guitar competition in one of the tents. And so Jacob signed up for the guitar competition. I'm like, yeah, dude, you should. Like, he's an incredible guitar player. Like, you should sign up for it. So the one day he got to the final 4 and got beat out by some little kid, which I kind of think was like, oh, this little kid's good. Give him the prize, you know?
Right.
And so the last day we get there kind of late. Like that day there weren't any bands we cared about. So we got there at like 1 o'clock instead of getting there when doors open. We walk in and I just assumed Jacob probably still was not awake. So I text him and I'm like, hey, are you alive? Are you here? And he goes, yep, I'm here. I met up with a group. I'm about 10 drinks deep right now. 10 drinks deep already. I'm about to go back to the bar and get more. I'm like, Jesus, okay, dude. And I was like, we'll meet up with you at some point. He's like, yep. And we never saw him. He was just running around the festival, fucking getting hammered that last day. Entered the competition. So we got a recap later. He jumped in with some group with he met a chick and ended up hanging out with her group. Saw like that group, there was like 3 chicks. He's like, saw all their tits. That was awesome. I paid 3 girls $5 a piece to slap me in the face. I won the guitar competition. And he's like, I won the guitar competition. I spoke on a live radio show that I have no idea what it was or what I was saying because I was hammered. And then he's like, I'm known by a population in Louisville as Jean Jacket Guy now. And and he's like, and I somehow got entered into competition for King of the Weekend and only got beat out by one guy in the end. He's like, I didn't even know what was happening, but they nominated me for King of the Festival and I almost won.
That's awesome.
What the fuck happened, dude?
Good for him.
Yeah, he ended up staying.
That's how I know I'm old, though, is because of everything you've told me. I'm still like, that dude really should have drank more water. That's not good for his system. Like his kidneys probably are really hurting now.
That last day he was running on only booze and root beer. He almost got voted King of the Weekend, won the guitar competition, and fucking running around to different groups, paying girls to slap him in the face. We're like, dude, Jake,
I think that's probably his highlight, though, right? In his head.
What?
Paying the girls to slap him? Yeah.
Yeah, he sent us a video.
That's probably tops.
Oh, yeah, he sent us a video of it.
Nice.
Yeah. It was fucking awesome.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Did anybody do any cover songs while you were watching any of these concerts?
In fact, they did.
Did they?
Not a lot of great ones, but yes.
Did you hear any good ones?
Actually, yes, I did. Corey Taylor covered Ace of Spades to close out his set. It was pretty sick.
Okay.
Interesting. I bet that was good.
Yeah. So we had an assignment to do. Speaking of cover songs, everybody, we're going to discuss. I got mixed up a little bit. It's not your favorite cover song.
No.
It's A cover
songs
cover song that
better
you
than
feel
the
are
original.
better than the original.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan,
would you like to kick this off?
Do you want to go last since you said you were going to get hate for yours?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
save the hate. I think I don't know. It's a bit of a hot take. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of hate on it.
If yours is mine's not really a hot take, so
okay.
I'm actually worried someone might also have mine. So, Dad, do you want to go first? Or?
I doubt it. I doubt it because mine's a little obscure.
Mine's an easy pick. So
go ahead.
It was just the first one that popped in my head. All Along the Watchtower.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I think
that one to me was kind
not
of
a hot take, but definitely.
Yeah. It was the first one I thought of when we were saying better than the original.
Yeah.
But also still a good song to begin with. Like that was the thing for me.
Well, when
the
original artist says song. That's now your song.
Well, you know what's funny is most of Bob Dylan's songs that are redone, I like the redone version of them, like Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Yeah,
I like pretty much every version except his.
Yeah,
I don't dislike his, but I like it least.
Yeah.
Of all the other versions I've ever heard.
But his version,
I think I have a bigger appreciation of Bob Dylan's music now than I had years.
Well, you're old. That makes sense.
Yeah. I listen to it a lot now. It's not bad.
I like Bob Dylan, and that's what I mean is that I wanted a song that his original version is really good, but Hendrix's version is that much better.
Yeah, but Bob Dylan himself said that's for sure. That's his song now. So I mean,
I figured mine would be kind of an easy, like, yep, you're right, move on.
Yeah, and the first one that popped in my head was Knocking on Heaven's Door. That was the first one where So to your point about Bob Dylan songs, the cover being better.
Can I ask which version? Because it's been redone by a million.
The Guns N'
people,
Roses one was the first one I thought of. Because that's the one I've listened to the most.
Yeah.
Because it came out right when I was, buying music a lot and all that stuff. So that's.
What about you?
Even to this day, like Isaac, Isaac thought the Guns N' Roses one was the only one.
Right. Yeah. That's my version I like the most.
I will say when I think of that version, I think of my guitar teacher when I used to take guitar lessons. He hates the Guns N' Roses version.
Is it because of that one chord change?
Yep. He doesn't like what Axl does vocally on it, but it's the original version.
I thought it was Slash and Axl when I was a kid before I saw the video or anything. I didn't know it was Axl doing both of the hey, because one was so high and one was so deep. Yeah. I thought like somebody else like Slash was, doing backup with that.
Well, so the original Bob Dylan version, the chord progression changes a little bit, but it's like
different. Yeah.
It's like G to D to C or something like that. And then every once in a while he'll go to an A minor. And Guns N' Roses doesn't do it like that. They just pick one and they do it. And so they technically don't play the song right. Like they don't play it the way it was written. And he's like, if you're going to fucking cover the song, at least have it's 3 chords. Have the common decency to learn the
fucking song. Yeah, they don't play it exactly the same. That is true. For mine, I really was thinking like Van Halen, like every one of Van Halen's songs that's a cover is better than the original. I can't think of a single song that Van Halen one. But I got to the point where But I got to the point where I couldn't decide on one. So I was like, I'm not even going to pick Van Halen because every single one of theirs is better than the original. And kind of like the same for like Metallica. I mean, I think pretty much every version of their covers is better than the original, except
everyone.
Except Turn the Page. I do
love their version of Turn the Page, but it's not better than the original.
It's not. So
neither is Tuesday's Gone.
I'd forgotten they did that. Yeah, that's not better.
Yeah.
So I picked actually Got the Time by Joe Jackson, and then later by Anthrax.
Good pick.
That's a great tune, but Anthrax did it better. And while I'm at it, I really now want to change my pick. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath by Anthrax is better than It's better than Black Sabbath's version. It just is. The sound, the guitar tone, I mean, literally might be the greatest guitar tone ever recorded. It's phenomenal. Just their tone is amazing. And just everything about it to me is better than Black Sabbath's version, which is heresy, I know, but I just think it is.
You know what? I almost picked a Black Sabbath original. There was one that I thought was better than it. Not to blow our load and talk about all the ones that we think are better, but I almost picked Planet Caravan.
I actually consider that one as well, but Pantera, yeah. But that one, that song's not as. I mean, that's there's not a lot to that song, I guess. You know what I mean? It's kind of a ethereal kind of song.
Do you
more
remember
than like a toe tapper?
Back when we first started hanging out a little bit, there was a album come out. It was a Black Sabbath cover album called Nativity in Black.
Yeah.
I think they've even made a second one. But the two that I remember from that was Faith No More doing War Pigs.
Yeah. They do a good job with that.
And then Megadeth doing Paranoid.
I love Megadeth's Paranoid.
Those were probably my favorite covers that were on that album. And they put out a second one I don't think I've listened to. Sorry.
You know who else does a good cover of War Pigs? It's Cake.
Who's that? Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard that.
They do a really good job with it. It's fun hearing the horns and everything.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know if I've ever heard that.
I love Cake.
Yeah.
And,
I'm kind of like him.
That's not just my physique talking.
So I have a couple of runners up. I know we're not supposed to blow through this.
Yeah.
But one, I actually have a playlist on Spotify of cover songs that I've gone to a couple of times to listen to stuff. And then when we decided to do this, I was like flipping through that to kind of jog my memory on some of them and everything. And one of the funniest ones on there is, do you remember Cameo's Word Up?
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah. So there's a version by Korn of Word Up that is insane to listen to. And it's so funny because it's that song, but it's Korn, and it's crazy to listen to. But
I'm not sure if I've heard that or not.
You know what?
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's fun.
It wasn't Korn, but the guitar player from Korn, Head, did an awesome cover of Whip It from Devo.
Oh, okay.
I can see that.
And it rules. It rules because the tuned down guitar. Whip it in the shape. It fucking rules.
No, that's not my pick. I was going through them, and Cake has a good version of "I Will Survive" too. By the way,
they do.
Yes, they do.
And I noticed another thing. Do you think Marilyn Manson made a career off of covers?
He did do.
He did a lot of covers. Even his first hit was "Sweet Dreams." Like his first radio, or video really. I don't know how much radio play it got, but it was on MTV a lot and stuff like that.
I hear that all the time on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
People using it as bumper music in YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm. And he had Tainted Love, and he had
good one.
Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode.
Yep.
There's more. I forget what else he did, but he
has a lot of those. All of those I like better than the originals.
Yeah. It seemed like that kind of genre of music that Rob Zombie does a lot of covers too.
Yeah. They just did the LA Rats when we were talking about super bands back in the day.
Yeah.
Or back a few episodes. He did that. They did the Everywhere Man. I've been everywhere. Man. They did that cover.
Johnny Cash song, right?
Yeah.
See, I thought of Rob Zombie too, but I can't say his are better than the original. He did We're an American Band, but I don't like it as much as the original.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I always thought the easiest job in the world was to be that keyboardist from American Band, just going ting 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 ting. I was like, I could do that with the Casio keyboard that I got for Christmas here in 1984.
Can't be better than or easier than the trash can guy from Slipknot.
Slipknot, it drives me insane.
Guy that beats on the trash can with a baseball bat.
Right, it's like being the cowbell guy.
Yeah,
yeah, but that dude that just hits a trash can better not get paid the same as fucking Corey Taylor.
Pretty sure he doesn't.
I don't know how it shakes out.
I think he's got writing credits on a lot of songs.
My pick, and then I don't know if you guys would agree with this. I know we'll get a lot of hate mail. I'll get that the big bag of hate mail that we get. They don't send the emails. They don't make the comments.
They actually mail them.
They actually mail them. They put the stamp on it. I'll have more letters than Santa Claus gets.
Specifically to Ryan. It's weird.
Yeah.
I know. Well, you keep posting my fucking address out there, dickhead. So, thanks for that. But so I went with and this is the original artist's favorite cover of his song. He's never said it's better. Like he didn't give it to this band like the way Dylan gave Watchtower to Hendrix.
Yeah.
But when I was listening to these songs, I like the Social D version of Ring of Fire better than Johnny Cash's version.
I do like that.
I do too.
I don't like it better.
Okay.
I don't like it better, but I
think
like
it's
that
better.
cover a lot. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you another
why,
song
but-
that's very similar to
And
what
Johnny
you're talking
Cash loves their version of it.
Well, he's kind of got
Did.
the opposite thing with Hurt.
Right.
about. Well, that's what I was about to say.
Mhm.
I don't think that version of Hurt is better than Nine Inch Nails version.
I don't either.
I like it better than the 9 Inch.
And
And,
a lot-
I love
yeah,
the
a
9
lot of
Inch Nails
people do.
version, but I like Johnny Cash's better.
I don't.
I put him pretty much even. I
They're
listened
very,
to the
very
Johnny
close.
Cash verse so much that when I went back to listen to Nine Inch Nails, I expected to just find it inferior to the Johnny Cash one because I had listened to that one so much when it came out. But I was like surprised at how much I still love the Nine Inch Nails version too.
Yeah, I love the
So
9
I
Inch
put
Nails
them.
version.
I put them.
so
I think they're even.
I think they're almost even. I put Johnny Cash just barely above. I think there's something about his voice that has a little more like pain sounding in it than Trent Reznor's that I like. Like there's a little, I don't know. There's a kind of added darkness to Johnny Cash's that I like a lot.
No, I got you. I'll give you that, but I just don't think it's better.
Yeah.
I
I also think it might be the acoustic guitar versus the piano with those weird chords. Like
I think that's a
the
lot
9
of
Inch
it.
Nails version is a little bit like a little more evil sounding. Whereas, and I
It'd be
know
interesting. It'd be interesting to hear Johnny Cash sing over the musical side.
I bet someone's done that actually, but
Yeah.
but I know it was kind of near Johnny Cash dying anyway. But it almost feels like that to me a little bit. Like it almost feels like the 9 Inch Nails version was like Trent Reznor was writing a song where like about pain, and Johnny Cash covered a song about him dying. Almost is what it feels like to me. Is like it almost feels like someone on their deathbed because it kind of was, and
Right.
that darkness I like in the song.
Right. And he had that much more life experience that he's reflecting back
For sure.
on and all that
For
kind of
sure, yeah.
stuff with his alcoholism and everything that I learned about in that biography movie that was about him. So
There's unpopular takes on this kind of stuff too. Like there's songs like what's the
Are you saying the Disturbed one?
The one by Disturbed.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Sounds of Silence.
I love their version of that.
Yeah, that I do not like that at all.
I love their version of that.
I do not like that at all.
You don't like it at
comparatively
all.
speaking.
it's funny too because I DJ up the stadium for the home games, and I try to play good fun music and all that kind of stuff. And this guy came over and he was like, do you have that Sounds of Silence by Disturbed? And I was like, I don't think so, but I'll look. And he's one of the, I don't know if you remember in the DJ days where like the one guy will like stand there and wait for you to look and kind of look at the
Yeah.
screen too, so you have to sort of do it instead of doing it. Oh,
Hey, dude,
sorry, man, don't
fuck
have
off.
it. So he sees it pop up, and I was like, shit.
That's
So I
not
was like,
exactly. That's not exactly a upbeat.
You're right.
Yeah, that's
So
a weird
I
party
played
song.
it, and I'm telling you, people were like looking over, like, huh?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to, you could never do the neon sign. This motherfucker over here, like this guy, he's the reason we're all sitting.
We're
through
playing
this
it for
stuff.
this. Yeah, for
Right.
this guy.
In fairness, though,
It
that's
doesn't-
I will say I like
not a fair representation
Disturbed's
of that.
version of
If
Land
you-
of Confusion, though.
I
The old
love,
Genesis
I
song.
love that one.
I like that.
Yeah, it's okay.
That I don't
I
think it's better than Genesis, but it's another one kind of like Hurt. It's very, very close for me. I love their Sound of Silence cover though.
Which version of Blue on Black do you like best? Because I hate both of them. They both suck ass.
You know what? Hold on. That's a band though that again they've done so many.
Who the
fucking
fuck
covers.
went and dug this back
I
up?
wait, hold on. How do you guys
Disturbed
feel?
too, right?
I don't. No, that's not Disturbed. I don't like
Who
it
did
better, but I do dig it. This Five Finger Death Punch. I do dig
Oh, that's right.
their version of Bad Company. I don't like it better. The original one's cooler, but I do still really like Five Fingers' version of that.
So they kind of making a living off like Marilyn Manson.
Oh
in a
yeah,
sense,
they
right?
have so many fucking covers.
Yeah.
What about that song, Shinedown song that they did? The Skinner, they copied Skinner.
Simple Man.
Simple Man. Thank you.
Again, I don't like it better than Skinner, but I do love their version. That dude sings his ass off in that version.
He sings it better, but it's like still like Skinner's version. I think.
Well, it goes back to the like the Bad Company thing. There's kind of a cool Western vibe that like it feels very Clint Eastwood with the original Bad Company. So like making it a little heavier, it doesn't have that same exact cool factor, but it has a different one. It feels almost Mad Max versus like Clint Eastwood, you know?
Right.
And I like the vibe of Clint Eastwood better, you know, but I still love that Bad Company. Do you guys like that one at all, or do you kind of bail out on that one?
I like it. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but yeah, I like it. I like Bad Company's better.
Yeah.
I also liked Guns N' Roses' version of Live and Let Die better than I liked Paul McCartney's.
I like it. I can't say I like it better though.
I think I might like it better, and I love Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I do too.
I think I might like it better too.
I think it may just be because that's what came out when I was buying music and stuff, you know, like that. I had a car then, and I went and bought cassette tapes and CDs and stuff, and was driving around listening to this stuff. You know, it might have felt different.
You've got some nostalgia behind it,
yeah,
right. I mean, I think so. That might be why I like it better. And all this stuff obviously is subjective and just our opinions and stuff, but our opinions are way better than anybody else that's listening to the show. So shut the hell up.
Well, our opinions are actually correct. So
I think Trevor ruined the Guns N' Roses version of Live and Let Die being better than Paul McCartney's for me, because he was talking about he sang it at a company Christmas party, and he's like, and I did the Axl Rose on it too. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he started doing these like, when you are here, like he's like doing that.
Paul McCartney did?
No. Trevor, your singer.
Oh,
he said he did that at a Christmas party. I was like, oh fuck, he does do that. And after that, I can't not hear Trevor making fun of him. And I was like, yeah, it's not as good.
I'll tell you what. Let's do a little thing here before we wrap this episode up. I'm going to name you a couple of cover songs, and you tell me if that's better than the original.
Okay, I like
that. Does that sound good?
I like that.
Like a speed round here. Some of these I didn't even realize had cover songs. So, do you prefer the Trash Cans version of Surfing Bird, or would you prefer the Ramones version of Surfing Bird? Or would you prefer Peter Griffin's version of Surfing
I like the original. I like the original. Trash Cans.
Trash Cans, all right.
Yeah.
American Woman. You like the Lenny Kravitz
I
version?
I like both a lot, but I think probably the original.
Guess Who?
But I do really like the Lenny Kravitz version still.
Yeah, okay. I like the Guess Who's version a lot better.
That one's close for me, though. It is close.
All right. Let's see here. Did you guys, that's some of the research I did too, is do you guys know that Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a fucking, not only a cover song, but a guy singing originally?
Really?
And the lyrics were changed up a little bit and stuff, but he was singing about, it was an observation he had about girls when he had been out on a town one night or something like that. And he wrote and recorded it, and they bought it, changed up the lyrics.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, if you ever listen to it, it's crazy. Ooh. It almost sounds like a punk version.
Another one I almost picked, Quiet Riot with Come On Feel the Noise.
Yeah. That popped in my head too. There's no way I've hardly ever even heard what was it?
Didn't Sweet do it, or was it
Slade? No. Slade did it. Yeah. I like their Run Run Runaway song. Like that's what I know them for.
Oh, another one I almost picked, but again, it seemed a little like
God, the rolling drums in that Runaway.
Well, obvious was
it's great.
Oh fuck, was Babe I'm Gonna Leave You. Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, theirs is the cover.
Yeah, with all of their songs were ripoffs of somebody else.
Well, I know, but that one was actually a cover though. Like that was a Joan Baez song, and like the Zeppelin version definitely kicks that one in the ass.
Yeah, not even close.
It took me a long time to realize that Higher Ground by Chili Peppers was an original. I didn't know Stevie Wonder did that.
I do love that.
In the 70s.
I think that one.
I love the Stevie version though. Actually,
I do too.
It's really good.
I do too, but I think I do like the Chili Peppers
is better.
Chili Peppers is better.
I agree, and it's the same time. It's that same time that the Guns N' Roses stuff was coming out,
What about
essentially too. So like I just grew up with that one.
what about Roller Coaster of Love?
What's that?
What about Roller Coaster of Love?
It's got to be the Chili Peppers version, just because I saw it in Beavis and Butthead too.
Yep.
So like I still picture the Beavis and Butthead video.
Did you guys?
I still picture them dancing on that dance floor with the disco ball over and stuff.
Did you guys
Doing
see?
those sweet home
Did you guys see recently?
Hey, what?
Did you
What's
guys see?
that?
Did you guys see recently? So this actually was on. I threw this out as a possible segment for the day, but if we do this again, there's more songs that can fall in this category, so I'm fine throwing this out. But Rob Zombie recently talked about Beavis and Butthead. Did you guys see that at all?
I
That
don't
he
think so,
said
no.
that because White Zombie was featured in Beavis
Right,
and
they
Butthead Do
did
America.
the desert scene.
Right. So he said that actually that is the reason he attributes that to a huge part of him being successful now. Is he said that White Zombie that video was out for a long time, but it would only play it on Headbangers Ball at a weird hour.
Right.
So he said that
and it came out
video-
with that El Bisto animation stuff that he was able to launch from that same type of animation.
Right. But he said that he couldn't get that. They basically MTV refused to play that video at a normal hour. So White Zombie wasn't getting any type of that was the only spot that would give them airplay was on MTV on Headbangers Ball, but they were kind of at a shitty time slot. So that White Zombie song came out and they really didn't pop from it. And then it got put on Beavis and Butthead. And he said all of a sudden it exploded because everybody was watching Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
A lot of artists can say that.
Right.
That,
but he said
they'll
that
have like one hit that was just like exploded when Beavis and Butthead put it on.
Right. But he said that was actually the turning point in their career is that they put that song out and it was like no one cared. And then it went on Beavis and Butthead and it was like we went from, he said it literally was like there was like 1,000 play or like 1,000 sales to like 10,000 overnight because it was on Beavis and Butthead, and then the next day it was like 100,000. Like people just it was like it was on Beavis and Butthead, and then all of a sudden people knew who White Zombie was, and that had it not been for that, they wouldn't have been able to go on the road with Pantera. They wouldn't have been able to, like he wouldn't have been on the tours. They wouldn't have been able to do the albums later because they wouldn't have given him the money.
Yeah,
like the record company didn't trust them.
The first time I saw them was with Pantera, and I remember like, who's opening? And they're like, oh, White Zombie's opening. I'm like, who? White Zombie? I've never heard of them. They're like, I remember my girlfriend was like, no, they're really good. I'm like, all right, let's try them out. And I was like, wow, those guys are really fucking good.
Right. But he said that they never would have been given a chance had Beavis and Butthead not picked up the video. And so it was kind of like, had Beavis and Butthead not done it, I probably wouldn't be a professional musician. But because it was on their show, now now I get to be Rob Zombie. And I thought that was pretty cool.
He's actually, it's weird because like, I think you guys look at Rob Zombie and put him in the same category as like Alice Cooper before him and all that kind of stuff. Like he's actually one of my favorites to listen to. I don't know why, but like I find myself like, especially when I will play like metal and stuff like that, working in the workshop, like I love a lot of
I love Rob Zombie.
White Zombie and the Rob Zombie stuff. That kind of, like I remember like when he put out a greatest hits album and stuff like that. Like I like even like going to watch his movies and all that kind of stuff. I was excited when he was redoing Halloween. Like I have no idea why. Like but it's always been something that I've been into, and I get he's like the modern, an updated version of Alice Cooper and stuff like that. But some of the, what's funny too is like here at Halloween, like it's October now as we're recording this, and we were talking about with the cover songs, like the way he twisted like Boogeyman, and turned why am I blanking on who does the original? It's God dang.
I know I can't remember.
Like Bee Gees pop in my head, but it's not the Bee Gees. It's the other big
like
70s
or something.
Yeah, but it's like
Earth, Wind and Fire rules.
Yeah, dude.
Earth, Wind,
it's
and
the
Fire.
one that,
I like Earth, Wind and Fire.
No, it's not them though. It's God dang it! It's like the ones that do a little dance. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh yeah.
It's Casey and the Sunshine Band. But he takes the same thing, doesn't change the lyrics, or it even is, fast and upbeat
Yeah.
like theirs is, but the feel of the song somehow is different when he does it, to where like boogeyman means something scary as opposed to, you know, boogieing down tonight, like,
you know
kind
what,
of feel to
actually,
it. But I like that.
it
And
this ties in.
him and Lionel Richie recording Brick House together.
Yeah.
Doing a remake of Brick House for that House of Thousand Corpses movie is insane to listen to.
This actually,
it's so much fun to
this
listen
ties
to
in
Lionel
great.
Richie sing with him.
This ties in great, actually, because Jacob is the one that pointed this out to me. Go back to kind of beginning of this episode.
That's called a callback, right?
That's a callback, folks. But Jacob is the one that pointed this out.
down.
Is the reason I think Rob Zombie, so many of his covers work so well, is because he was kind of the groove metal thing. His songs fall into a weird category of like they are heavy, but you could play them at like as dance music. That they're also they're also
you could
dancey.
Like his version of Boogeyman. Like I've played it at Halloween parties, you know,
Right.
because it sounds Halloweenish, but still has the same dance vibe to it.
Right. But because it's so dancey, you could pick like a disco song or whatever, and he doesn't have to change anything, and it still sounds like Rob Zombie because it is very dancey.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's a great point, because it was like he seems to pick a lot of those old, like, you know, Casey and the Sunshine Band and stuff. It's like, oh, that's kind of a weird pick, but it actually makes a lot of sense because it actually falls exactly into the groove that he already does. He just makes it heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I did, one of my favorite impressions ever is that guy Josh Adam Myers, that comic. It makes me laugh a lot. His impression of Rob Zombie is just every song is monsters and titties and titties and monsters.
It was like I was there. It's like I was at a zombie concert just then. That was great.
Fuck, that is every song.
Yeah. He's like, maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's like, you could literally just throw out like monster movies and car parts, and it's like, Bigfoot has a broken carburetor and monsters and titties and monsters. Like, fuck, goddammit, that's every song.
Yeah. And then all his movies always have his wife in it doing some
murdered.
crazy shit, and then B, it's like always like the most insane fucking dialogue, like white trash, horrible dialogue that you like, the things people call themselves and yell at each other and call each other, you know, and the threats they make. It's just some of the most unrealistic, horrible shit that people would say.
He does have the weird Tim Burton thing about him, where it's like every movie is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre people killing your wife.
Yeah.
Like that's every one of his movies.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. It's all like House of Thousand Corpses is just Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the chainsaw guy.
Right, but it's
like it's still that crazy family.
Yeah, but it's like every Tim Burton movie, his wife dies at his best. His wife is married to his best friend, and she dies in every movie. It's like, that seems weird for you to do every time.
His wife thinks about that.
Yeah. Every movie
he's married to that girl from Fight Club,
Helena Bonham Carter. Every movie she's married to Johnny Depp, and she dies. It's like, that's weird. That's weird for you to do 13 times in a row.
She does the voice for Corpse Bride.
Yeah,
which is like Nightmare, like it's kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
it's one of his lesser, you know. It's kind of like that. Same. It has Johnny Depp in it too, and it's supposed to be like that, but like it's called Corpse Bride. She does the voice for that, so she dies right away in that one.
It does seem like they just watched that when they made Bride of Chucky and decided to just turn it into a Chucky movie.
Yeah. We were talking about those the other day. I've only watched the first Child's Play movie. Can you believe that?
You never seen Bride of Chucky? That movie's fucking ridiculous.
I've never seen Chucky 2. I've never seen.
It's funny you say that because
that
earlier
ridiculous.
when I was waiting for the show to start, one of those is on right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. I'm going back.
I see commercials for that TV series Chucky, like on Peacock.
Dude,
or
those
something
movies
like that.
got so
They advertised
dumb.
the shit out of it.
Those movies got so fucking dumb because it was like Chucky, it was Child's Play, and then Child's Play 2, and then Chucky just started having his own movies after a while.
Yeah, right.
Bride of Chucky.
Yeah. Bride of Chucky was
Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky.
Wait. What's the chick? She's Bonnie, Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly.
So
Nice.
Chucky bangs Jennifer Tilly and makes a new doll kind of thing that is Jennifer Tilly. She voices the fucking doll, and it marries Chucky. And then those two bang and have an actual little like Chucky baby, which is like Child of Chucky or something like that. And it's not evil. And it becomes so fucking stupid But like I watched it. I mean, I watched
There
it,
you
but
go.
it was so
I grew up loving
weird.
some
It was
Jennifer
so
Tilly. I'll tell you that.
oh,
much.
Jennifer Tilly. Yeah,
like she's
yeah.
until she starts speaking with that voice.
I kind of like
There's
the
a
voice.
reason. Oh my god.
I kind of like the voice.
Do you?
Kind of.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe it's because it's
funny.
attached
There's
to her.
an old movie.
It might be because it's
what's
attached
his name?
to her.
Anthony Michael Hall is called Johnny Be Good.
Yep.
Right.
And so she plays. You remember Paul Gleason, right? The guy from so
Breakfast Club.
Right. So she plays Paul Gleason's wife in it, and like it's the first time I ever remember seeing her. It's like 1988 or something like that. And every time she would talk to him as the wife, I was just like, how the fuck does he listen to her? Like that voice is driving me crazy. And she wasn't like hot then either. Like it was weird. She had like this perm and stuff like that. Like she wasn't overly, and they made her look like an old cocktail waitress with like a lot of makeup and all that stuff because she had to play, you know, this kind of loser high school coach's wife and stuff. So she wasn't all Jennifer.
They got her right at the right time.
Experience.
They got her right at the right time with Bride of Chucky. She was pretty hot in that.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that.
It's weird that I grew up kind of with a crush on her and I never watched that movie Bound. And apparently she's like super famous for that being her hottest.
Sweet.
Like her and that Gina Gershon.
Oh yeah.
Apparently are in that. And like I guess they have like lesbian scenes and all that kind of stuff.
Dope.
I know this is gonna sound weird, real revelation on the Guys Like Us show, but the lesbian scenes in movies growing up, I never care. I could never like insert I just assumed I wasn't welcome there. So I didn't so I wouldn't put myself in there in my head. So like I never got excited by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always felt like if I walked in on that, it was like, hey, well, they're pretty much hot and ready to go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
like, throw me in the mix.
I don't identify at all with you on that one, Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I always felt like that was my best chance. If I walked in on that, it's like, well,
yeah, for real.
I mean, one day when I'm
here.
drinking on this show, I will give my one-time threesome story because it's a fucking whopper. It could be its own movie. My one night of a threesome.
Look,
one day I'll drink before we record this show.
You're welcome. Okay, you're welcome
right.
because you brought up your threesome and used the word whopper, and I didn't make a fat joke.
Yeah. I know you're like, it was a whopper. I'm like, how big was she?
No, I was talking about my beef, not the girl. But holy shit, there's cops involved. There's alcohol involved.
Banging 2 5s is just like nailing 110. So it's all about math.
You can't say that and not tell the story.
And 7's passing, right?
You can't not tell the story.
I'm just dropping little. I'm just dropping little pieces of it there.
You want to tell it on the next episode?
Call that a teaser.
How about we tell it on the live episode?
There you go.
That is the next one, isn't it?
No, we have one after.
Oh, that's right.
We have one after.
Oh shit! Oh, so this has been another. This has been a wonderful episode of the Guys Like Us show. I want to thank our producer there for putting this thing together. Has you got anything you want to plug there, sir?
Mm-hmm.
All right, as soon as you.
Oh, great!
Nick,
all right.
Fucking wait till I'm taking a drink. Yeah, actually. So we've talked a little bit about Stage Dive on here, one of my other companies that I'm working with, and yeah, exciting news with Stage Dive. So we've been in alpha. The alpha is out for Stage Dive, so we've been that's out. There's limited people that are able to be a part of it. That are kind of going through the bugs right now. You know, we're going through getting everything worked out. The dev guys are busting their ass. They're fucking killing it. But we're pretty close to the beta version launching, which means we are very, very close to the actual, having a paid service that people can really use. Bands can start getting paid, podcasts can start getting paid, and we actually have something that is, we think going to be a game changer coming out very, very soon. So hopefully,
are we in line to get paid? Like, are we in the right line? Are we standing in the right line to get paid? Yeah, awesome.
We're gonna be on there. So, hopefully, very, very early in 24, we'll have a full-fledged, like, actual, not just a beta, but like the real version of it's going to be out, and it's going to be, something that we're super fucking excited about this, man. We really do think this is going to be something that can actually change the industry and how all of this is done. So
you're saying that Ryan and I can go ahead and quit our jobs?
Yeah. I was just texting my notice right now, actually.
Sure, go ahead.
Listen, boss, there's some shit I've been wanting to say about you.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be great.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with the airing of grievances to your bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of problems.
I wanted to ask it that way. It feels like that virtual version of, when you're like waiting this long line and you get to the front and they're like, no, this is not where you get the tickets. This is where like you pick up the tickets that have already been bought online or something like that. I just want to make sure we're in the right line.
Well,
right line.
Get our paychecks
you guys have been hearing about it for a long time because it's a thing. It's a startup that I'm a part of. So, we've been kind of going through the growing pains of everything, but it's going to be fucking awesome for real. And the dev guys are busting their ass and they're doing a fucking.
No, I'm in agreement with you on that. I just talking to you about it, it sounds like it could really be a big thing.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I genuinely believe the whole point of this is we're trying to make something that's going to be an industry breaker, and I'm very, very excited about the prospect of that and getting to be a part of the team that's building it and getting to be a part of like all the ideas and everything.
To like pump us up, you'd tell us things like, "You guys are getting into the ground level, fellas. You got getting into the ground level. It's going to be huge."
Well, we will be one of the few podcasts on when it launches. So I mean. We will.
They do say that at every pyramid scheme meeting I've ever been to. Too, so.
No. This isn't a pyramid scheme. This is one of the. It's upside down. It's more like this. It's like a diamond, but the top of it's cut off. So, it builds this way instead of going.
You're making
this
a
way.
Pussy with your fingers there.
Kind of. I don't know. Does that entice you more to sell on behalf of the company?
Not if there's two pussies, apparently.
Yeah, that's too much pussy.
You're not welcome here.
And then. They don't want me involved, apparently.
Man, hold on.
All right.
Wait. Before we sign off, it's one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen. When we went to a bar one time with one of our buddies, we ended up getting kicked out of the bar this night because he got way too drunk. But he went and he was desperate to try to bring a chick home. And his way of doing that was to show up and get hammered extremely quickly and be super weird to all of them, which was not a winning formula. And there were two chicks that came together that were still like
it seems foolproof.
You could tell they were there together, but they were not opposed to bringing home a dude. Like, they were putting that vibe out. And he started to walk up to them and they were dancing and they both just stopped and looked them up and down. And the one chick just goes, "You might as well go sit down, buddy. You can't handle us both." And
my God.
Dude, he came and sat down and like he had been cut off at the bar. Like they cut him off because he was making an ass out of himself. And he sat down and our bartender was like, "I'll give you another one, buddy. That was rough." Like she just put another one down her front and we're like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
We just watched his soul get crushed.
Never got kicked out of bars, did we? I think we never got kicked out of a bar, did we? I don't recall. I remember sitting on several curbs after being in a bar, but I don't think we were placed there.
Fuck off.
I think the closest.
Fuck off.
Yeah. I think the closest I've ever gotten kicked out is that time I toasted that one girl's ass when she was dating. You remember the bar girls,
nice.
the beer girls.
Yeah.
They had their little stations,
right?
And I don't know, randomly they would get up on their bars and dance with the lights with their. And I walked past one of them and I had a beer in my hand and I reached up and I just sort of toasted her ass.
Nice.
And didn't think anything of it. Just kept walking, got back to the table, and that chick grabbed my fucking hair and spun me around so pissed off. She already had like 3 security. Luckily, one of them was Lee Greenwood. You remember Lee Greenwood?
Yeah.
So luckily, one of them. Yeah. Well, luckily, he was one of them, and he was like calmed everybody down. And no, I didn't get kicked out or anything, but she was a fucking like hornet mad. Like she was so fucking pissed that I did that.
Do I need to cut that name?
What, Lee Greenwood?
Yeah.
Do you know
that wasn't his real name?
It's because he looked like the singer Lee Greenwood.
Well, I was okay.
God bless the USA.
Yeah.
Have you been to a laser show?
That was our name for him. That wasn't his real name.
You're telling me no one else in the world can be called Lee Greenwood?
He just looked like him.
He looked like Lee Greenwood.
Yeah, it's not like you called him fucking Lemmy Kilmeister. That's a name that could be called again.
Yeah.
To the guy.
No, that
No,
was
you don't need to edit it. We just called him that because
Okay.
it's exactly what he
That's
looked
what he
like.
looked like. Yeah.
Like it was dead on.
Ever tell you guys about the time we saw Kenny Rogers?
That was a legit Kenny Rogers.
That was Kenny Rogers.
That was Kenny Rogers.
No, it wasn't.
His
Well,
license
you
plate
were
said the
there.
Gambler.
What was it? It was all the
GMBLER.
Yeah, you're right. It did. It was missing some letters.
Hold on,
but
that is one of
Yeah,
my favorite
yeah.
moments. That is one of my
Red
favorite
fucking
moments on this
Corvette.
show. I know, but
Yep.
that's one of my favorite moments on the show. Is you guys. I said that jokingly, and you guys so adamant were like, "No, it was real,"
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and you were like, "But that was your big
You're
trump
not
card."
fucking taking
No,
away.
I know, but
might
hold
be
on.
the
But-
second highlight of
but-
my life.
Wait, but that was your big trump card. Is it's like his license plate said Gambler. I was like, yeah, a lookalike definitely wouldn't have that. And both of you were like, fuck.
Yeah. but
No.
What do you have? Another one that said Gambler 2? With
Yeah.
just two eyes next to it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Fucking
he
impersonator
definitely
couldn't
would.
afford that shit.
Not with that and the Corvette.
Yeah.
There's no way an Elvis
Maybe a
impersonator would wear the
Chevette.
whole thing the whole time.
Oh, that was great. That was like literally one of my favorite things to happen during that period of my life, especially. There was not a lot else going on. So getting to meet Kenny Rogers at a red light near his house there was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Tempers flared, emotions ran high. It was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
You want to wrap this one up?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 minutes ago.
Do you still add that part where he sang that song to us at the red light? Do you still add that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So anyway, yeah, when he fucking started singing and
He
everything.
sang
it was
Coward
great.
of the County right there at the
That's
red light.
right, that's right. It's a long song. It's longer than you think. So is that fucking red light.
Red light.
You know what it's like around there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you follow us on all the other things that he normally talks about. I'm sure we got a Facebook page. We got, I don't know. What, are you quitting your job now?
Yeah, I've already quit. Yeah, I sent the text in just now.
Follow us on
I think he
Insta-
just quit the Nicholas. He was reading it.
I'm quitting this show.
Follow
Gotta
us on
get some sleep
Instagram
sometime.
at @guyslikeus_pod. Follow us at Sayge
Yep.
_media. Go to our YouTube page at the Guys Like Us Show. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. That definitely helps with the algorithm. So please do that.
Yes.
Go subscribe to us on Spotify, iTunes, all of that shit.
And thanks for not encouraging the hateful comments.
No, I wasn't quite there yet. I'm actually still getting to that.
Sorry.
And then if you do
Sorry,
want to
sorry,
send in
sorry,
a question or comment, or if you have your own cover song you think is better and or worse, or if you just want to hate on Ryan, send it at the Guys Like Us Show at gmail.com. No, I'm sorry.
All right.
At we are guys like us at gmail.com.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. And also,
Don't step on down power lines.
that's right.
There it is.
All right. We'll see you guys. Right?
Yep.
I thought you were gonna say next week. You stopped.
Oh, no.
I thought you were gonna say we'll see you guys next week.
I thought
and
we
then
were
you
done
stopped.
recording. I forgot.
Now we're done.
You can end it on his power lines.
Now we're
Just
done.
cut it at that.
This has been a Sage Media production.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.